All right, everybody, welcome to our mining for gold. And I don't know if you guys know in India what gold miners are. Did you guys have gold miners in India? Oh, really? Sure. I mean, I guess it just for us here in the United States, it was part of our pioneer days where people would land on America and they would travel. They heard the good news and they would travel. I'm going to see if I can get my link here. And they would travel all the way to the West Coast where I live. And I think they even went through where Suzanne lives. And they tried to mine for gold and look for the big gold rush. And my dad actually traveled up to Alaska, where a lot of these people, they would get up to Alaska and they would be in the freezing cold weather and climb through the 5 feet of snow and look for gold. And it just was an incredible feat, really. And there was this trail called the Klondike Trail. And my dad hiked that for 5 days with a friend, and it was just an incredible thing. And even hard when you've got all the modern day conveniences, like, matches to build fires, things like that. I really was thinking about how it is for us right now to be mining for gold, right? And it's very, very much a, hey, Suzanne, I'm going to make you a co-host so you can see if I can find you here.
Yeah, Becky, in doTERRA, we are looking out for mechanized gold.
I didn't understand a word he said. Did you?
No, Daljit, say that again.
Yeah, in doTERRA, we are looking out for mechanized gold. There was a movie by the name Mechanized Gold.
Oh, there was a movie. Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah.
There was a huge mountain made up of gold. It was a huge gold mine.
Oh, wow. Where I live here, I don't know if some of you may have seen me post pictures in the summertime when I go hiking up in the mountains. I actually grew up with a gold miner. He in our community, and a girlfriend of mine had a place where she would sew clothes for people, and he would come in with breeches with his pants that had holes in them. She would sew them up and put patches on them, and he would pay her in gold. And with little gold nuggets. I don't know if she said, I don't know what to do with this, because probably wasn't worth much back then. But it kind of makes me think about what we're doing is we're patching up our breeches and sewing things and trying to hang on, as we're getting to looking for this gold. And it's just such an incredible thing. This is not easy, right? It's not easy to be doing what we're doing. And it's only for the fate, the people who can really muster habits. And one of the things that I've learned that I really bad at is really sinking in and doing habits and reviewing what I'm doing, like reviewing over and over and over again if this is working, if not, change it up, or yes, that was really good, so keep doing the good thing. And so plan, do, review. So every day, you want to sit down and think about what are you doing, going to do today. And then at the end of the day, you want to review. So the first question we have to ask ourselves is, where are you now? That question can be asked the first of the month, every Monday, the first of the year. I mean, we want to go through and really look at and evaluate where our goals are. And, I have to admit, when I was at the print shop, every day we did a business meeting. We had all of our employees gathered together, and it was just 5 minutes. Sometimes it'd go on a little longer.
Usually 15.
15. And everybody would say their schedules. So my production manager, she would say what was important to do today. My typesetter, graphic designer would say, I have to get this done. They would go through. And it wasn't that that they would stick to that schedule. It just helped them, plant the seed in the ground to what needed to be done and really get them connected to their functions that they needed to do today. And at the end of the day, they would look at it and go, oh, I didn't do the main thing I needed to do today. I got instantly interrupted and instantly had to change my course. Needed to happen. Being flexible is really important, but also don't let those snags or those things catch you every day. If you're allowing that to happen every day, then you are actually succumbing to or being snagged or going off on the wrong path to find the gold all the time. And you're never going to get there. So you have to always be reviewing how that's going. So where is your rank now? So what rank are you? So you guys take a notepad. I want you guys to write this down today and actually do some of this. So the question was, oh my gosh, like Suzanne was saying, everybody's really worried about India opening up and where are they at and how are they going to get to gold? And so let's take a mindset. Where are you at right now? And when was the last time you looked in the back office to see where your holes are and stuff, right? So what have you been doing? If you feel that you've been the same rank for a while and that you're maybe wishing that you were at a higher rank and you've seen other people rank up, the biggest thing is you guys don't compare yourself to other people. And it's so easy to do that, right? It's so easy to compare, that person's wearing a cute shirt or you like their shoes. It's like you want that. But you know what? You have to only pay attention to what your budget is and what your abilities are and where you are with yourself and your circumstance. But the powerful thing is you can work on those things as goals and what you want in your life to be able to make that happen. And I used to think setting goals was always disappointing. It was always disappointing because I never reached them. And I'm like, gosh, why am I not getting my goals done and stuff? I want to tell you that every day, if you do this plan, do, review, and evaluate what you did, you are actually working on polishing yourself and focusing on your daily habits, which are key to being a top leader. If you are not doing your daily habits day in and day out, you're being sloppy. And then think about it. Would you want your leader to be like that? Would you want your leader to be all over the place, not being consistent, not telling you all these things or helping you? No. So are you doing that for your downline? So really, how many hours a week are you showing up and investing your time in your business? Look at it as an investment. This is not a job. This is not a job. So when we hired employees, they would just show up and then they would look at what they're supposed to do that day. They probably didn't think at all about their job when they were at home. But this is a business investment. You guys have a business and you're investing your time in your business. And you're hoping that the time you're invested will turn into cash and money down the road. It's not going to be at first because, when you're planning classes, making phone calls, and you haven't got one enrollment yet, that's a lot of time you're investing, but there's no money paying you. So being a business mindset is completely different than an employee mindset. But I want to overlap that conversation just a little bit. If you were an employee showing up to a job, what is your value? You usually argue with the owner saying, I need more money. You pay me more because I deserve more. Well, what does that look like in the tasks that you do on a day-to-day basis on what you're doing as an employee to your own business? Do you deserve to get paid for the tasks that you're doing? And so really take a look at maybe you don't deserve to get paid because maybe you're not making those phone calls because you're a little bit afraid. That's okay. Just work on not being so afraid. Work on being brave and taking on the steps that you need to be able to engage in that skill set to do that on a day-to-day basis. So what areas do you need to work on that you want to be a hired employee your own business, that you deserve that money, okay? So doTERRA has all these things. So I had this book right here. Just a second. Oh, here it is. I covered it up. This is the business building guide that doTERRA offers to you guys for free as a PDF to download. And if you are waiting for Suzanne and I or your particular upline to babysit you and move you along to being a quality employee, you know, we're doing a lot to be able to do these classes every Monday, and we're doing, you know, introduction classes every Thursday. But don't just wait for us. Take these training materials. There's an actual thing on the website called a business training where you can go online. I've got this little arrow pointing on it. It's a website called training.doterra.com. And you can download this book for free, and you can do the training for free, and you can go and do it over and over and over again. And guess what? You can share this with your downline to do this too. And that this will be like this foundation that's so important to get all of these things like really comfortable and good at. You should be able to be sleeping this, you know, dreaming this in your sleep, thinking about this stuff. However, this is like 118, 100 and how many pages? 107 pages or 108 pages. It may seem overwhelming. It's not. You want to keep it simple. The first two things that you really need to have in your mindset is learn the business model. And we're going to talk about that just for a few brief minutes. And then you're going to need to learn the compensation plan, like you can speak it with confidence. Those two things are all you need to learn your downline, but keep it simple. If you learn the comp plan, then you start teaching the comp plan. You learn the pipes, you teach the pipes. And the sooner you start duplicating this process, don't wait for Suzanne and I to do it for your downline. You should be doing it for your downline, okay? So duplication is why I love doTERRA's training materials, because it's all right there. If you feel like you have an upline that's not doing enough for you, you have all this wonderful stuff right there for you to put a power pack on it and go for it. And then there's some people who just maybe go a little bit slower. They need to learn a little bit differently. And we all have different ways that we learn. And like Suzanne's really good at this because she was a school teacher. I wasn't so good at this because I was a business owner and I wanted to beat it in everybody. You know, school teachers much more patient with people and stuff like that. And I'm on a business mindset where money, let's go, right? And so we all have different ways of teaching, different ways of learning, but be present to what your downline is as well. If you feel that you need to see it, have visual images, PowerPoints and things like that is how you learn, then great, work with that. If you need to hear it, you need to speak it, like people saying it is really, really powerful. I feel I have to have all three. Even writing it down, like I have to write it down. I may not even go back to my notes, but the access of writing it down is a way for it to be printing in my mind. And so the more you know about what your best way of doing this, you guys, the trick is knowing what your downline's way is too. And how you need to speak with your downline to know how they want to learn from you. Okay, so go further, but don't get stuck in the weeds. You guys, I know people, including myself, where I'm always just training. It's really important to be training, but if you find that you're spending all the time training and not in action, then you're stuck. Really, one of the things that, I'm going to go back to this because it's not on here. One of the things that we used to train at our print shop when we would hire a new employee, like we would do books like this and bind them. We would put this binding on the spine and I would show people, okay, here's how you do it. And I would show them. And then I would move aside and say, now you show me how to do it. And then they would show me. And then I'm like, now I want you to explain to me why you have to do it that way. And so I can see the gaps that they're not connecting with. And it's amazing how some people pick it up and other people can't explain it back. So they pick it up, they can visually do it, but they can't explain back what they just did. And so I think it's really, really important to be able to have all different aspects of that. Okay, so the best way to learn is to do the action. So showing how to find. You guys, even if you don't know how to do this business, say to your person, we're going to work together. I'm going to teach you, and then you teach me. And then go back and forth so you can learn this in action. Be in action with another person. That's why Suzanne and I keep asking you guys to teach a class on Thursdays. It's really powerful. And it's so much easier than you think, right? Annalise, I can't say anything. Annalise, isn't it so much easier when you go through and you talk and you teach the class? It's like, oh my gosh. And I just taught the class to one of my United States leaders. She's never taught a class. And she said, oh my gosh, Becky, I didn't even need the PowerPoint. I'm surprised on how much I know. And so just going through the action of doing it, actually the confidence, she's so much more confident now that she knows more than she thought. So really be in action. So I encourage you, if you were wondering why you're not building your team, if you're maybe just brand new with doTERRA, do the basic intro class right away. If you have downline that has not done it, have them do the basic intro class right away. And actually, you guys, this will really help with your downline, lifting them up with confidence. And do the lifestyle overview right away. I want everybody right now to write down, if you have a list that you can, people that you have not done a lifestyle overview with. The lifestyle overview is really the second enrollment. And actually, we call it the second enrollment, but I'm thinking it's the main enrollment. You may have somebody enrolled and that they got the kit, or maybe they don't even have the oils yet. But if you do a lifestyle overview with them, show them the resources, show them all the great stuff that doTERRA does, and get them really solid in the understanding of what we're up to, will be so much more exciting when they actually get the oils. So a lifestyle overview is a goal plan, a roadmap for them to know how to use the oils. And the most important thing is to have them set up their loyalty reward template and get their orders going every month, because they will understand why that is so valuable. If you have people who are not ordering on their loyalty reward points, maybe this is an area you want to go back and evaluate what's missing in your training with that, or maybe you're not even training it, that is something that is so important to do. And I wanted to say one more thing on that. Your loyalty reward program is the foundation of your business. I've noticed when I've been going through and learning more about the commissions and the compensation plans and studying other companies with their compensation plan, I've noticed a difference between some of the leaders that we've signed up who have experience in other network marketing companies, that their game is to enroll. But they don't go back so much and look at the loyalty reward program, because their old business that they were part of doesn't have a high retention rate in their business. So doTERRA's got a really high retention rate because of the loyalty reward program, and that we do the second enrollment process to ensure that if you are having people order every month with the team, oh my gosh, you guys, people say, I was elite this month, and then last month I went back down on my rank. Why is that? Well, that's because your loyalty reward program is not solidified with your downline. And you should be able to really, the goal is to have all of your loyalty reward, all your downline ordering in a loyalty reward program at 100%. Wouldn't that be amazing? And then every month you wouldn't have to go back and do that work all over again and get them to order. that to me is really where a lot of the struggle happens, is to be able to have that orders going every month. So you want to be able to maintain your rank at elite and maintain your rank at silver as you move up in the ranks. So it's only going to happen when you're doing this work here. So that is the support part, right? So you have the invite, present, enroll. So we spend about 10% of the time in preparing, scheduling, planning, reviewing, figuring out what you're going to do for the day. And then 20% in support, following up with your downline, making sure they're doing their planning and they're preparing. And then you're going to spend the rest of your time, 70% of your time, in inviting, presenting, and enrolling. Okay. So what that looks like is, I want to make it very simple. This chart here is, where you're preparing. So you got the P, inviting, presenting, enrolling, supporting, preparing, inviting, and presenting. Well, you're like just going around in circles, doing the same thing over and over and over again. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And that is really valuable. I want to share with you the repeat that if you were actually signing up, so you signed up and you bought your enrollment kit, then you rolled into the loyalty reward program, and then you go out and find 3 people to do the same thing. Now, we're going to talk about lots of strategy here, okay? You want to help them do the same thing, and then you repeat. So if you start having people do what you're doing, and their people do what they're doing, and their people doing what they're doing, you're going to have this duplication process. But if you're not training this with your team, they're all going to be looking at you to do all the work. And I've done that too. It doesn't work very well, you guys. It really doesn't. So let's schedule your tasks. So take a minute and think about, how many classes are you doing this month? How many classes are you doing this week? How many hours are you prospecting and following up? How many lifestyle overviews have you done? How many mentoring calls have you done with your downline and with your upline? And again, then are you spending the time saying that didn't work very well, or that worked really well, and really evaluating what's happening? What I want to ask you, if you were to look at your calendar, hopefully you have your day timer in front of you. Here's mine. I like the old style where you have to write things in it. And let me show you my my April. This is my April. It's crazy. And it's so messy right now, I can't even read it. No. You want to be able to think about, what are you doing on your day? And if you are having a hard time with your daily method of operations, again, a really strong leader is someone who can be really good with their habits. Be really good. Try scheduling them in 15-minute intervals. So 15 minutes, you're going to do prospecting on social media. If you need to set a timer, ding, go right off social media and then go to your next task. You're going to do 2 phone call follow-ups. Put the timer on, 15 minutes, make those phone calls, ding, go to the next task. You guys, you're going to get further along on your ladder of raising up when you do that every day, even though you didn't finish. Every day, even though you didn't finish. So treat yourself like, when you think about that employee ownership mindset, if you are wanting to be in the higher ranks, choose, like, this is Presidential Diamond. If you were to make $100,000 a month, that is basically, can you turn my phone off? That is basically 7, I don't even know how to say it in Indian rupees, 76 lakh, I don't know. And that works out to be $568 an hour, or 43,000 Indian rupees an hour. What are you doing every hour of the day? Are you worth that much money of what you're doing? So Suzanne, I'm sure she's not out there cleaning toilets and and doing all this stuff for her neighbor because it's not worth her time, right? That's not her job. Her job is to be doing things that are daily method of operation, that are income based projects or functions, tasks. And so go to your calendar and look and see what is income producing. If you were an employee, that you're asking your boss that you deserve $568 an hour or 43,000 Indian rupees an hour. Are you worth that much money? And if you're not, if you're like, oh, I can't ask them that, there's two things you're thinking about. One, do you deserve it? Or two, are you not doing the work? So first work on what it is for you to get there. And then mindset, you deserve it. You want to have the confidence and the belief that you can make it happen. So here's a, now I have a lot of these pages that I know you guys can't read. I did that on purpose because you should download the PDF and have that in front of you and you do the reading, okay? You do the work. And what this looks like is, this is a chalkboard of tasks that this person wants to do on a day. I actually did a screenshot of this on one of my groups that I'm working with. And this is the task they did in a day. So they're going to follow up with 5 contacts every day, 5 follow-ups, 5 new conversations, 5 new exposures. So what does an exposure look like? For me, I went and did a trade show booth on Saturday and I talked to hundreds of people. I had many exposures. I had many conversations. You can have conversations on social media. You can call people. There's lots of different ways that you can actually, have these exposures and conversations. Follow-ups, calling your downline. So this person would just do hashtags, go through and figure out what it is, how many they did. This is part of visually seeing really what you're spending your time on. This is part of measuring yourself to see if you had a good day or not. How many of you guys do this? Don't you think this is a really great idea to have a board and just get there and start making this function of actually doing the work is so important. It's really great. They also have a personal development section here. So they know that this is an area that they want to work on. This person's meditating, reading, drinking enough water, gratitude, when we give love to other people, like appreciating, it's so important. Exercising, it can be just a 15-minute thing, right? I have a little rebounder. I don't know if you can see it, something you jump on. I'll go over there and I'll jump on it throughout the day just to break the monotony. Because when I'm doing that one thing for 4 hours, I don't do it very efficiently. I slow down. And if you can break it up in groups and tasks, you will be much more efficient. Okay.
Becky, can I just say something about this really quick?
Yeah.
I love this so much because this is one day. If you look at the top, this is Saturday, 4/16. And then look at the quote below. It says, the future belongs to those who see the possibilities before they become obvious. And I love that it's got the business side, but I really love then down below the personal side, because you guys, if you don't have a foundation of personal growth, of taking care of yourself, your eating, your habits, your exercise, your drinking water, being grateful, journaling, all of those things that they've got listed there help you to be strong so that then you can go out and be confident in the face of others. If you're not doing your own, I call it my personal worship in the morning, that has all of these things in it, maybe meditation, prayer, personal development, drinking water, gratitude, my exercise, all of those things happen first thing before I go out and face the world. I really love this image. And then on the right-hand side, it's all the social media stuff and reaching out online to people. So, this is just, I don't know who this is, but kudos to them, because I just really love this. I really love it. So anyway.
This was something, Suzanne, that was part of the GoPro training that I put in the 90-day massive momentum group. of keeping track of your contacts every day and doing this stuff. And this is part of training yourself, those habits. It's those habits that that I feel solidifies the foundation. And it's huge, you guys. This person did 3 conversations today. And some of you they only did 3. Wow, how many did you do? Right? And so being able to really look at, even if it was 1, you planted that seed with 1 person. And that is huge. Let me show you the next slide here. This is I don't know how many of you guys know the movie Karate Kid. Do you guys know the movie Karate Kid? Okay, so I think I've got it here. We're going to watch a little bit of it here.
Yeah, I guess that means I could accomplish anything, huh, Mr. Miyagi?
Right.
No sweat.
But first, you accomplish paint defense. Okay? All in the wrist. Wrist up, wrist down. Wrist all in the wrist. Up, down, long stroke. Very good. Up, down. Now look me, look fence. Okay. Up, down, bend the wrist, down stroke, you bend. See? Good, long stroke, up, down, very good. Knee, bend the knee, come by, up. Yes, very good. And your son, don't forget to breathe. In, out, up, down, this, up, down, up, down, up, down. Very good. And your son, up, down, up, down. And then small board, left hand, big board, right hand.
But I'm almost done.
All of it. Board, right hand, all board, left hand. Up, down, up, down.
Look at the look on his face, you guys. He's like, all those fence, the whole fence. And Miyagi is going through and training him how to do the brush. All these little things that he went and noticed. He didn't realize that there's little gold nuggets in there. Little gold nuggets.
All finished. That's pretty good, huh?
Both sides.
Both sides. Both sides of the fence, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel sir, very good job. Come morning, start early.
Come morning, start early. And he's like, what the heck? I don't want to do this. Like, how many of you said that? I don't want to do this. Up, down. Can you hear him walking away, screaming at him? Now, how many of you guys,
Yeah, I guess that means I could accomplish it.
How many of you guys have heard us say that? You know, what's your names list? How many phone calls are you doing? Like, what is your tasks today? Wow, I made 5 phone calls yesterday. I'm done for that for the month. Well, no, you have both sides of the fence to paint, you guys. So going through and doing all of these tasks, it's not going to happen with one phone call. It's not going to happen with one social media post. It's not going to happen with going over to your neighbor and talking to them or whatever, right? You need to do all of that. And as many times as you do it, the more strength you will develop in painting the fence, right? Up, down, up, down. You're going to be learning all of those little things. I don't know if you could hear that recording very well, but he was saying, Miyagi was saying, you want to hold your hand this way. And so that's Suzanne and I and your leader saying, oh, no, try this script on that phone call. Try this video to share with them. Try this. And working with works with your style so that way you can collect all those people that want you, right? I can't teach you your style. My style is different than Suzanne's. She taught me lots of amazing things, as when we were starting, how to do this and how to do that. And we practiced and we changed up our recordings and our videos and tried to polish it a little better. And we noticed the ones that are more polished didn't work very well. And the ones that were really crappy worked really well. And I don't know why that is. And so going through, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I'm telling you, is you find what's working, right? And so there's no secret. If you plan to call 1,200 people, 900 of them might say no. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine when Dan was trying to just paint the one side of the fence? And then when he said you have both sides of the fence, the look he had on his face, that's this, you guys. But 300 of them signed up. If you made 1,200 calls and 1,200 contacts, you have 300 of them sign up. Out of those 385 did something. Maybe they had a class. And out of those 85, 35 were serious. And out of those 35, 11 made it to become a millionaire. Now, if you knew you had 11 millionaires on your team because you made 1,200 contacts, if you made 1,200 contacts in a year, how long is it going to take you to get there? If you made 1,200 contacts in a month, how long is it going to take you to get there? If you made 1,200 contacts in a week, just think how much more polished you will be and more keyed in to that skill set of what it takes to make that invitation happen. And I talk to many of my downline, they're struggling, some people, which, yeah, but how many phone calls and where's your polishing going? What scripts are you practicing with? How is that working for you? Really important, you guys. Any questions on that? Again, here's doTERRA's chart. This one here was from GoPro, from the Eric Worre. This one here is doTERRA's. Same thing. They had 100 names. So we always suggest you guys to get your names list out and start going through your phone, going through your social media and writing down all these names and then evaluate them if they're going to be a good leader or not and what your thinking is. And then get on the phone and call them. Say, hey, we have all these scripts in that class. You guys, these scripts are in the book. These scripts, Bailey, the leader Bailey, I don't remember if she's diamond or presidential diamond or whatever, but she, at the leadership, she did one of Eric Worre's scripts as one of the trainings to all the doTERRA people. Her whole thing mimicked exactly what I've been training you guys on the 90-day run. It's exactly what's in the book. This is all just different ways of learning and hearing, right? So that you guys can capture it and get that information. And so, again, if you were to make 100 phone calls, you should get 1 to 3 builders out of that. You should get 15 enrollments. Those are the numbers. And if you're not getting those numbers, then maybe you want to polish up your how you're talking to them. What script are you using? Give up what it is in your mind, how it needs to be, and actually do what the training that doTERRA says is successful. And then you will find your way through both of those, okay? Each enrollment has 200 contacts. You guys, Annalise, how many people do you know? You know more than 200 people, right? Yeah. Deljeet, how many people do you know? I mean, you guys know lots of people. So with each enrollment that you have, they know people too. They have 200 people. And so you want to start reaching out to, I don't know why it's not switching here. You have 200 people on your names list, and then you invite those 200 people, you're going to find 5 builders. Let's just say you are enrolling and find 5 builders out of those 200 people. Out of those 5 builders, they have 200 people. Guess what? You just increased your contact list by 1,000 names. Isn't that incredible? And then when you go through and you look at those 1,000 people, you're going to get, I think my math is right, 25 builders. and then you got 25 builders have 200 people. That's 5,000 contacts. So people who say they don't know anybody and they're done, you guys, it's not true. You even have a brother or sister maybe, or a mom or a dad. People know people. And even if they're not doing the business, even if they don't even want to be a part of it, just say, I don't even want you to be a part of it. This is a script. I just want to see if you can help me by hosting a class. Suzanne, isn't that what Matt did to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just host a class. I want to have it at your house, invite some of your friends, because he knew you didn't want to do the business.
Yeah.
Suzanne, the first class you taught me, what was my mindset? I didn't want to do the business.
Yeah. Yeah. And
right?
there were like 11 people there. It was really great.
So the more you do this, you're going to find endless contacts to reach out to. So this is this is panning for gold, you guys. This is panning for gold. As you practice your phone calls, practice your scripts, you teach your downline how to practice phone calls, practice scripts. When you're teaching your downline, you're learning too. Oh, that didn't work very well. Oh, don't do that. I found when I did this, that worked better. You try it, okay? Work with your team that way. That is where the mentoring comes in. So as you're onboarding these new people, again, in the book, this page has how to talk to them. Are they going to be a customer that's just going to buy the product? You know, what are they saying? Here's all the scripts that they're talking about. Here's how you can be clear in your communication so that you can understand what your expectation level is from them. And you can understand what, you know, just because you signed somebody up doesn't mean they're. How many of you signed up people and automatically thought they're going to build the business? We go back to those numbers. 1,200 people, you're going to have 300 people sign up. And how many people are just buying the product? You need customers. That's really great. And you need customers to buy every month. Right? So it's really important to have that. And then you're going through and you're talking to your sharers. You got people like I was a sharer for Cindy, for Suzanne's sister-in-law. I was just like, oh, I'll share with my friends. I'll do a class for you, sure. Because the oils were amazing, right? But to be a builder, now you want to really dive in and decide the difference between your downline. I am passionate about sharing doTERRA with others. I choose actively to learn more about the oils so I can be effectively serving others. I am committed to personal growth and learning the business. I'm consistently engaging in pipe activities. I fine-tune my approach so I can be more effective in steering an interest in a doTERRA lifestyle. I seek guidance and support from my upline. I take part in training and mentoring that's offered by doTERRA. I teach classes so others can experience doTERRA. I provide displays, samples, and handouts. I onboard customers with a wellness consult. I strive to be clear. I strive to carefully place each enrollee for, can't read that. My things were in the way. I strive carefully to place each enrollee for mutual growth. You know, these things here that we're talking about are builders, right? Now, how many of you in this call today, and I want you to chat, say me, M-E, in the chat, if this is you. Suzanne, we don't have anybody typing anything.
Nobody's perfect at it, but you probably do some things better than others, right?
Yeah. Okay, so now if we go here, there's the last leadership. There's one more leadership level to look at, and that is being a wellness advocate. That is not being a builder. To be a wellness advocate, to communicate foundership level, foundership mindset, foundership goals and strengths, is I'm driven to grow my dreams. I live my vision. I live my life vision and mission driven. I am passionate about health and wellness and influence. My voice spreads this message. I have the desire to continually grow and learn. I push through limiting beliefs. I push through limiting beliefs, you guys, and become a leader each day. I welcome and seek mentoring, strategic support, and accountability. I leverage my time and energy with a proven system. You guys, I leverage my time and energy with a proven system so I can focus on what matters most. I choose to invest the money needed to grow my business. I keep comments. I keep commitments in my word. So reading all this, I can go through the whole thing here, but that's a different mindset than a builder. Do you see the difference, you guys? And if you want to be a founder, you want to step up and actually have this, own this, do this, and then look at this and see what difference and how to really become a founder. doTERRA loves builders. We love all these builders, right? But what does it take to be a founder? What mindset is it going to be? And if you can really polish and paint the fence and really get good at this, because you can't just arrive at this. You need to do the painting and the fence, the all that work that Miyagi said. All that work, okay? Now, let's take a quick look here at, I know you've all seen this before, but if you take a look at this compensation plan on how to grow your ranks, and each rank, you're going to have a different set of beliefs that you're looking at. Your goal is to get to elite and of course more, but if you're at elite, you start training your downline to get to elite. And then you train your downline to train their downline to get to elite. So because that's what we call the core rank of 3,000 overall volume or team volume. And that once you get to premier, then you need to have 2 legs that are executive. And then when you get to silver, you guys, you need 3 legs to elite. So in order to get to gold, you're going to need to have 3 legs of leaders that have 3, that have the 2 legs of premier. But I'm suggesting you actually work on 3 legs. Now, one of the things that you want to keep in mind as you're learning and growing, notice that as you go up in your ranks, you're actually unlocking the next level of your commission plan. I've seen many different compensation plans with different organizations where tap rooting or building really down in one line, you think that you're going to be tapping into the 7%. But if you're not building by the power of 3, you're not having the strength. You're going to be maybe a director, and you only really are going to get paid at the 3rd level. So be mindful of building on the power of 3 as you're building deep, and know where your rank is. If you are executive and you have 7 levels, you're not getting paid on any of these orders that are coming in. So be sure to be mindful about how you're going to be making the most impact with earning income as you're growing your team. So this is the elite planner, and it's in the book, and you want to be able to schedule. If you need 3,000 overall volume this month, how many classes is it going to take to enroll people? How many invites? How many people need to enroll with things? So I have this one chart here. I think I made nope, I didn't make it. I didn't put it in here. Yeah, it's not in here. How many people do you need to enroll and to have on loyalty reward template if they were doing 150 PV? Anybody put in the chat. If you need 3,000 volume, how many people do you need to have ordering at 150 PV? Anybody know? Praveen, you're the math guy. How many people do you need to order with 150 PV?
Okay.
Annalise said 20. Sorry, 25. Joseph said 20. I think people whipped out their calculators. I think it's 20.
It's 20 people. So if you had 150 PV and you had 20 people buy 150 PV, you'll get to elite. Now, how many classes do you need to have 20 people? How many classes do you need to have? Now, if you had a class of 20 people show up, do all of them enroll? No. So look at your math and figure out 200. Joseph says 200. So now how many classes does it take to have 200 people invited to come? How many classes? So really think this through. I can give you the answers, but if you don't think it through, you're not doing the work. You need to be doing this with your downline too. So go back and schedule an elite planner with each of your downline and ask them to how many classes, where's your level at now? And how are we going to get you to elite? And when do you want to get to elite by? So that way you can actually help them see what it's going to take to get there. Okay. Any questions on that, you guys? You want to, okay. You want to say anything on that, Suzanne?
I was just going to say, I say this over and over and over again. In fact, I just sent in a post this last week about this. Two things that are so critical. Enrollments are great. Somebody goes, oh, I enrolled 10 people this month. That's really great. And you're going to get some good fast start bonuses. But if that's all they do and they never go on to get on the loyalty rewards program, you're never going to have that residual income that brings you the success, the long-term, residual income that comes. The other thing is exactly this. You've got to be teaching these classes every week. You've got to be inviting this many people every week. You can't just invite 4 or 5 people to a class because you might just have one show up, right? You have to invite 20, 30, 40 people to come to these classes, and you need to be doing them every week. That's what the people who are really successful will do. They'll be putting forth that kind of effort, teaching in-person classes where they've invited many, many people every time. You can invite the same people over and over again. Sometimes you invite someone and they go, oh, I'm not going to come. Oh, I'm not going to come. And then they'll go, wow, well, she's invited me 3 times. She must really think this is important. I think I'll come and just listen. So put forth the effort to do the inviting and then actually hold those classes.
Well, and remember, those invitings don't have to be all of your, right? I mean, because you've got maybe maybe you have one person underneath you. They have 200 people to pull from. Partner with them and help them grow and help them reach out to their people. And when you guys do it together for a first class, if you're just brand new, this is really important. And if you don't have anybody on your team yet, then call your mom or call your husband, whoever it is that close by. Maybe your neighbor at your flat might have, like, hey, would you be willing to do a class? I'm learning. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I would love for your support if you have a friend or two that I can practice on you. Would you be willing to let me practice? And you guys, it's so important to just get in action, right? It's not going to be perfect. Make it sloppy. I want you to be sloppy about it because then that will stop holding you back, right? And notice here too, I was talking to one of my leaders yesterday about these incentives. If you were to have an incentive where you can enroll with a kit, and then they set up their loyalty reward program to place an order for next month, then give them a free gift like a wild orange or maybe a cup of coffee. I don't know. You be creative. Make it work for what works for you and your budget. It doesn't even have to be something that costs you money. Maybe make it a hand massage. We taught you guys the Aromatouch. The Aromatouch is online. You can actually learn how to give somebody a hand massage. It's just absolutely delightful, right? And so you can be really creative on how to make that work. Okay, so remember, the elite is the foundation. So when you enroll, when you get to elite, you have 3 to be a silver, you have 3 elite. So you really want to encourage your downline to get to elite. That will bump you up to silver. And then your silvers need to train their people to get to elite. That will bump you up to platinum, right? So you guys, the biggest thing here is to be a leader, to train your downline. And I'm going to be first to tell you that I did not get this for the longest time. Like, I was busy running my print shop, and I just thought that to be a leader, I had to all the classes. And the minute I gave that up, which was when I started teaching in India, I couldn't do your guys' class for you at your house, right? You had to do it. So very important. Okay, so we're going to then talk about the faster you move, the faster your momentum is going to happen. Some of you might feel like you're pushing the train up a hill and it's very heavy and the burden is very strong. But if you actually change your mindset and flip that around, it's going to be different. I think the harder and the longer you wait to teach a class, the harder it gets, because the act of the power of what's that called? The energy is going that way instead of up, it's going down. So do your daily method of operations, create your roadmap, what's your game plan to get to core, and you get it done. You do everything you can to get it done because you're worth the $500 an hour or the 43,000 Indian rupees an hour. And then don't forget to recognize your downline. Now, Suzanne and I have gone through and we've done some certificates and things like that. But now a lot of you are leaders. It's your job to be doing that. And then your job to train your downline to be doing that. Because I don't know a lot of those people, right? And so it's really important to be remembering to be independent and take on those leadership roles. Don't just wait for me and Suzanne to do it for you. We on purpose aren't doing it because we need you guys to be doing it. So you are the leaders. Again, here's the elite planner. And to get to premier, again, you need 2,000 executives. So this is the roadmap that you want to be putting together to be able to make that happen. Again, to have premier, to have 2,000, to have one leg with 2,000 overall volume, you need another leg to have 2,000 overall volume. You're going to need 10 people ordering 200 PV and with 2 leaders, that's 20 people. Or you can have 15 people ordering 150 people, or 2 leaders, that's 30 people. So start doing the math on what needs to happen. And remember, premier, you need 5,000 overall volume. So you got 2,000 here, 2,000 here. And then there's going to be extra made up somewhere to give you a total of the 5,000 for premier. See, I have that up there now. I forgot I had that. Okay, so any questions, you guys? Again, silver, to get to silver. Now, this is every month. It's not once. You need to be letting this happen every month so you can understand why it's so important to be having your loyalty reward template, customers ordering every month on their loyalty reward orders, because it makes it less, not less work, but it's already filled in. That information's already there, and you know where you need to plan. Have your team order the loyalty reward orders the first week of the month. When they're ordering the first week of the month, or the first 2 weeks, they're actually getting the product of the month. That's why that's there, is to incentivize everybody to order the first 2 weeks so they get their free product. And then as a leader and your downline, you guys can look and see what are the gaps? Where do we need to focus? What leader do we need to be teaching classes so we can help lift them up to become elite? And it's so important to be doing that. No more ordering all the orders the last week of the month. It is super hard for me and Suzanne to be helping you do that when I have all the leaders doing that. I don't know about you, Suzanne, but I know you got a lot of people doing it the first of the month, but we need a lot of our teams ordering the first of the month. Okay, so to get to gold, you're going to need 3 premiers. 3 premiers. So to be gold, you have to be a leader teaching 3 members of your team how to be a premier. A premier has to have these executives. So they need to be leaders and learning how to do all the stuff that we're training as a leader to get these executives. It doesn't happen from this gold person. And I've heard people say here in the United States and just other leaders complaining, well, my leader's not helping me. Guess what, you guys? You are responsible for your own business. If you have a leader that may be just a customer, which can happen, you may have a leader right above you that's not engaged, which will happen. So if you're looking up to that person to do something for you, stop right there. That's the wrong mindset. You need to be having the mindset of how yourself is managing your own business. You wake up, you go to your store, you unlock the door, you open the door up, and you get busy, right? And I know Larry and I, we had to do that because we had a bank loan we had to pay. We had we were going to lose our arm and a leg if we didn't pay that bank loan. And that mindset pushed us to do the work. You need to have that kind of mindset as a business owner that everything matters. You're investing in your business because it matters. And, with doTERRA's compensation plan, when we go back to this chart, if I can get back to it real quick here, it doesn't pay out very good on the first levels, you guys. This is just, and it's really hard to have people understand they're learning the compensation plan, they're making mistakes and they get disappointed. Maybe their loyalty reward template wasn't set up and they didn't get their commissions, and all of these things is all learning. It's all painting the fence. It's like spilling the paint bucket and having to go to the store and buy another paint bucket. I mean, you're going to have mistakes happen, but this is good because you're learning that in the beginning. And then you're polishing it. What you learned, you're training your downline to not make the same mistake and all that, right? So as you start to build your team, you're being rewarded more generously with higher commissions. You haven't earned that yet. And it's so discouraging sometimes to only be getting a check for $35 when you did 5 classes and nobody showed up and all this work and 100 phone calls and da-da-da. That's painting the fence, you guys. It's all part of polishing you and helping you become a really great leader. So just know that that's what's happening as you're going through and doing that. Okay, so if I can get to the next slide here. So here's another sheet that's in the book that you can go through and start building your team with the power of 3. How many of you have earned your first level power of 3? Okay, then teach those people their first level power of 3. Then you can get your second level power of 3, you guys. So it's really important to start looking at the structure and where those holes are. Write this out every month. Maybe write it out a couple times. You're on the 15th of the month. Okay, who placed the orders? Maybe even on the 10th of the month, because then if they haven't placed the orders before the 15th, you can call them and say, oh, I noticed your order hasn't come through yet. Can you get that done? Because you had a critical conversation with them. They know what their expectations are when you first enroll them as a business builder and as a leader. If they have goals to be founder, this is their commitment to their business investment. They may not need the oils. Oh, I beg to differ. They need those oils to use as sampling, as incentives, as ways to grow your team, right? One of my leaders was telling me last night that he wanted to order a few more products so that he can actually use that as incentives. And I'm like, yes, you're getting it. That's so important. It's so great to be doing that. Because you guys, those are your people, right? And that's showing the duplication process. Those incentives, Suzanne and I did on the very first few months that we were doing the business, and then we were training you guys to do that. So this is from a PowerPoint that Suzanne did a while back, and I was just kind of going through and looking at stuff, and look, it says April 30th, so it was actually a year ago. But again, plan, do, review, set realistic, yet challenge yourself, push yourself. So if you're training to be a marathon runner, you want to push yourself to go further down the road. If you just keep going 1 mile, you're never going to get to the 26 miles, right? Oh, but that 1 mile is comfortable, Becky. I only want to do 1 mile. Or I don't want to teach a class. I'm not comfortable teaching a class. Well, then you're not going to make it. And many of you who have not taught a class, that's my first measurement of what kind of leader you're, I hate to say that, but you need to be evaluating yourself that as well. It's like, oh yeah, I haven't taught a class yet. Suzanne did ask me, Becky did ask me to teach a class on Thursday. So I better get to it. It's going to be easier. Change your mindset. It's going to be easier than what you think. Okay. Look at your organization and evaluate it. How many of you even don't know how to go into your back office and look at genealogy and look at your tree. You know, identify the roadblocks. Determine what it takes to reach your goals, like how many classes and what's the strategy going to need to be. This is so important. Plan, do, review, and then schedule those items. Plan your week, plan your day. Okay. And then return and report to your upline. So it's so important to meet with your upline. If it's weekly, I would suggest if you want to be founder, I would do it weekly. If you think you need an accountability partner, then you need to do it daily. So I know Matthew Hall's wife, Shantae, and I for, 6 months, we chatted with each other in the morning. I'm going to do this. And then at night, I completed this. Just one thing. And that helped me become accountable and develop those habits on a daily basis to be my word. Because you guys, all you have is your word. And when you're able to say and speak what you want, what you're up to, and you advertise it to other people, then you're going to be accountable. So again, you want to work on your structure of making sure you're building your business partners on your top line. And I know we've said that over and over again. Evaluate your people. And I told one of my leaders the other day that, you know, when you're evaluating, when you're signing someone up, a lot of people avoid the business conversation. Oh, we'll just get them using the oils, which is common. But you have to say, I know you just want to buy don't just say, I just know, you know. You want to say, these oils are powerful and they're going to benefit you so much. Allow me just to share you the business opportunity. Now, I know this may not be something you desire right now. However, allow me to share with you for 2 minutes this opportunity so you're aware of it. Maybe you may know someone in your life that this may be for them, and I would love to share with them. So you speak in terms of having people, you're not pushing them into the business, but you're talking to them about someone else, and they say, well, that might be me. Why not me? And then you're able to then have a critical conversation saying, well, this is what I expect. This is what the team structure looks like. If you want my top real estate, if you want to be on my top line, I need you to be a leader. We have business builders and shares. They go down here. But I'm reserving these spots for people who want to run with me. And what that looks like is you need to place 150 PV. Maybe you say that. And it needs to be on the first of each month. Maybe you say that. What do you want and expect from your leaders? And then level 3 are your customers. Okay, so the day in the life of an entrepreneur, you guys, you're not an employee. You are not an employee. One of the things that was shared with me in one of my Eric Worre classes is 2 things. He shared with me, manage your expectations. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course, it's setting my goals and stuff. But no, what he meant by is when you're going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You had an enrollment. They got mad at you. The shipment didn't happen. And then the shipment came, they're excited again. And then you messed up on something. And then they're all excited again. And then it's like, this is what it looks like to be an entrepreneur. And sometimes you can crash really hard down here, right? How many of you guys have crashed? Like crashed and burned, like got in a wreck, right? Got in the ditch and you can't get out of the ditch. What were you going to say? Everyone. But if you can't manage your mindset when you're down here, then you're going to have a hard time. And believe me, Suzanne knows when I'm down here. And so I'm really working hard on managing my mindset so that when shipment doesn't happen or when the loyalty reward templates weren't set up and somebody didn't get commissions, all of these things are stuff that we have part of developing and growing. And it's good to be here sometimes so that you can kick yourself in the butt and readjust, evaluate, know what you need to change in your training and your self-development. And then it's working again. Yeah. And then you guys, the higher up you get, the further down you can crash. So if you're up here as elite, your crashes are going to be harder. When you get to silver, your upset's going to be bigger. So managing your expectations, and I like to say, You are part of doTERRA. So if you actually owned doTERRA, let's just go ahead and use this as an example of Larry and I owning our print shop. We went to the bank, signed our life away on a bank loan, bought equipment, hired employees, painted the building, mopped the floors, bought equipment. And all of these things, was a lot of work before we opened the doors. And a lot of ups and downs, but I couldn't give up because I had a bank loan I had to pay. And believe me, the first customers that we had never paid us because I had to learn that lesson. And believe me, we learned that lesson.
Yeah, we had to keep grinding.
And any business is going to be that way. But the other thing on that is I also had to tell myself that I had to speak good about my business. I had to relate to the customer and tell them that this was something that we're changing. This is how we're changing our plans to make that not happen again. And I did that. I stuck to that. I was my word. And so you have to be a gatekeeper of your business. So when somebody came and spoke wrong of our business or said some bad things, or another network marketing company crashed and burned, and you have a mindset that network marketing is not good, think about it as your own business, that you're working really hard to protect the reputation, to protect the culture, to protect all of the really powerful things that you put so much work into, because it's a lot of work in the beginning, right? It's a lot of work. But if you're able to really powerfully empower your downline to be gatekeepers, if something went wrong, they speak it as they're going to own it and make it happen, make it work, or make it a positive thing. Turn it around and take your expectation into a positive thing. Set the expectation with them when you enroll them. So let's say you enrolled somebody today and say, okay, you guys, thank you so much for your order. I just want to let you know that this is coming from United States. It's incredible that we're able to get all these products from United States, because when India opens up, it's going to be not so many. But the problem with the United States is that it's going to take some time. That's okay. We know that it's going to take time. We know that sometimes they may miss a package here or there, or something gets lost in shipping, but we're going to be on top of it and do whatever we can to make sure everything happens. I just want you to know that it's going to be great. And so bear with us, and you're setting the expectation right in the beginning, right? And that's so important. Don't overpromise and undercommit. You want to, how's that word going? I said that wrong, didn't I? If you set the expectations right, then they're not disappointed when things do go wrong. So you're helping the crash or managing your expectations down here. Any questions on that, you guys? Okay, so no matter your product, ultimately you are in education business. Your customer needs to be constantly educated and taught how to make never-ending improvements in their lives. And so it's always a work in progress. It's always something that we're learning and developing and training. Everybody's at a different level. Everybody learns different, and it's all incredible. That's what makes this network marketing business so amazing, is to be able to help lift people up and see things bigger than they know themselves to be, and help them stretch and grow and learn. And I was talking to one of my leaders in the United States where she was wanting to sign her son up. And we were talking to him on the phone. And he said, I was in network marketing before, and what I loved so much about it is the personal development. And I thought, wow, actually somebody loved network marketing because it just did the personal development. I thought that was pretty powerful. I also want to share with you what that expectation is, that no one is coming, meaning you're sitting around waiting for a lead from me or Suzanne, or you're waiting for some things. If you're waiting for somebody to give you permission or discover you or to pick you, no one is coming. It is your responsibility to live your dreams and to stretch. Your responsibility to grow your mindset. Your responsibility to schedule your day. Your responsibility to develop those habits. Your responsibility to be positive and to manage your expectations. Again, so the way you want to do that, if you need help with that, then do your check-in, talk to your upline, have a mentoring call, schedule that with them. I love doing this with my downline. I love helping my people. If you want me to schedule a strategy call with you or Suzanne or your upline in between, it's really great to be able to make this happen on a weekly basis so that you can measure and develop and polish the fence, right? Or paint the fence. Now, one more thing I want to share with you is this chart. I thought, well, that's strange. I don't know if I believe that when I first was with doTERRA, but this is the belief level chart. Many of you guys are brand new with doTERRA. It's really fabulous. And I was insulted when I saw this. I'm not a baby. I'm a mature adult that ran a business for 28 years. But really, the mindset is that you're learning the product. So your job is to help everybody learn the product yourself, do everything you can. There's tons of videos on YouTube. Show your downline those resources, teach them, plug them in to all this. And then when you start to develop into a leader, you're just a child yet. You need to have development and belief of the company and the opportunity. And I was talking to somebody who's premier, and he was struggling with the compensation plan and struggling with the commissions and struggling with the doTERRA is this, doTERRA is that, because he came from another network marketing company and he was thinking of what he was disappointed in what that network marketing company's compensation plan was. You guys, doTERRA has an incredible compensation plan. And if you have a mindset of that, start to train yourself more in that compensation plan so you can move up to silver. If you still are stuck with the company opportunity, you're going to stay here at Premier forever. And I see it. I see it with myself. Like, I'm a gold level rank leader. And I see that now, when I was gold a few years ago, I'm learning to develop this belief in my leaders' expectations. I'm learning to develop my leaders and have belief in my leaders. And when you're silver rank, you need to have belief in you. And this is so powerful. It's so incredible. So if you want to be gold, you have to work through these stages and steps to believe in your leaders, to believe in you, to believe in the company, to believe in the products. And this is so important. And there's this chart here, again, that this is in the book, you guys, where this belief level, where the actions are, where you can take. So if you're elite and you believe in and you're believing on the product, you take courage, share experiences, ask for more testimonials, show up for classes, do more research. There's a Facebook group page on turmeric dual capsules alone that just are tons of testimonials on there. And it's really fun to just go through and read how people are using these products to help support them. Company and opportunity, you want to work with integrity. Like, where is your integrity? How are you presenting the message? If your belief levels and not understanding the compensation plan, and you don't even speak the compensation plan, you're never going to grow. If you're afraid of sharing the compensation plan with your downline or with your class, you're never going to grow. People are looking for opportunities. They may never have shared that with you, or they may even share, don't talk to me about the business, like I did with my team, with my leader. I told Cindy I was so mean to her. I was so mean. I'm like, don't even put me on the email, and she was afraid of me. But if she never spoke to me about the business opportunity, then, we were struggling with income because our business was struggling with the economy was bad. You guys, the economy is bad everywhere in the world. And if we can help lift people up with $100 a month, making just even a little bit of income that could help them with their rent or help them with putting food on the table, anything like that is going to be huge. And so it's really important to start looking at where the area of growth is and the success habits that you want with your commitment in order for you to get to the gold rank. And this is really key. For you to be silver, you have to model success habits. You have to train your downline those success habits. Suzanne and I have been doing these business classes every Monday. That is a success habit. We want you guys to be recreating these classes for your downline. You should take and ask for these PowerPoints and say, I want to teach this to my downline because that's going to help model me with them. And then I'm going to encourage them to teach this class with their downline. This solidifies certainty in your mind. Okay. And then to be gold, you want to transfer the vision, the belief of foundership, the belief of what the commission plan is going to be as you learn and grow with the higher commissions. You want to nurture your team with duplication process. This is so important. If you are doing all the orders for your team, you are not duplicating. If you are not training them how to transfer the money and how to place the orders, you are not duplicating. When India opens up, you're going to be doing everybody's orders, and that's not going to work. When India opens up, everybody gets to have the opportunity to go on their own website and place their own orders and transfer the money into doTERRA's account, just like, it's exactly what we're doing now, right? So encourage that, make that happen. Okay, so this is the confidence statement. This is something that all of you, as you grow and want to become founder and you're reaching to be that gold miner, you got your axe and pick out, this is what you're going to want to have this, to choose confidently and constantly growing your belief, growing your courage, growing your confidence. The process of creating real and lasting results is greatly enhanced when you understand the vital connection between you, your heart, and your mind. What you consistently think about and say repeatedly has powerful impact on how you act and exclude your character. So everybody, I would love you to take out an oil. And I have Motivate oil today. And I'm going to take this Motivate oil and I'm going to put it on. And I'm going to smell it. And I'm going to give it to Larry. And I'm going to breathe in. And then I'm going to say this discipline thought. This is like an affirmation. These oils will help pattern your thoughts and your beliefs. These oils are not only for wellness and your health, but they're also really helping pattern your mindset. So if everybody can remember your favorite dessert or your favorite dish growing up, your mom would be cooking in the kitchen and you can smell that amazing smell that brings back happy memories, that brings back positive mindset. So the essential oils can also pattern a positive mindset for your belief and your growth as you're learning and growing. So I have the ability to build a successful doTERRA business and fulfill my purpose in life. I am persistent as I work towards teaching my goals. I realize that I realize what I think and believe eventually becomes my reality. So are you thinking and believing good thoughts or bad thoughts? What are you letting run your mind today? I concentrate on my thoughts and the person I intend to become and to create a clear mental picture of that purpose and that person. So if you are wanting to be founder, what kind of mindset does a founder have on a daily basis? Do they let that shipping that didn't happen discourage them? What is it that's going to help them become that founder position? I understand abundance, influence, and rank only last when built upon actions that benefit everyone they affect. I maintain a service mindset as I bring hope and wellness to the world. I succeed by gaining the cooperation of other people. I encourage and invite others to join me because of my willingness and efforts to serve those around me with love, compassion, honesty, and gratitude. Others believe in me because I believe in them and in myself.
Sand floor, big circle, sand floor, now show me wax on, wax off. Hey.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off, wax on, hot, wax off, hot. Concentrate. Look at my eye. Like a hand. Thumb inside. Wax on. Hat. Wax off. Hat. Wax on. Hat. Wax off. Hat. Wax on. Wax off. Show me paint the fence. Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. Other side. Look, eye. Always look, eye. Show me paint the house. Side. Lock list. Side. Yes. Show me wax on, wax off. That! Show me paint the fence. That! Show me side by side. That! Show me sand or floor. Start! Oi. And the guy, always the guy. Come back to sand or floor.
So that is just an incredible video. I think about all the training that we've been doing for some of you have been with us for 2 years. We're training you to paint the fence. And maybe you don't realize, and it seems mundane, it seems boring, it seems like, oh, I didn't sign up to do this. It gets easier, it gets funner, it gets more encouraged and more exciting as you start to see the results. And so this is a video, or this is a picture of Matt Hall in India. I don't remember which location this at.
Looks like Mumbai.
I think it's Mumbai, yeah. And Matt was talking about, I am independent. So, you know, when Daniel is learning the karate moves, nobody else is fighting off Miyagi. It's Daniel. And so this is something for you guys. This is your action. You're painting the fence so you can polish up the look and being able to be, notice how he did it slow moves and then he did it really fast. So as you grow your business, it gets faster and faster. The momentum gets more and more. So you have to have that skill set. You have to have that duplication. You have to teach your downline to be leaders so that way the momentum will grow faster and faster and it will be easier as that happens. So that's all for today. Do we have any questions or anything in the chat? I'm going to go ahead and close the recording so that we can ask questions.